Alrighty, guys, so we're going to be going over 5 oversold stocks right now that I'm looking at in the stock market, even though the markets are closed today. And by the way, happy Good Friday to everybody out there watching. I figured, hey, I'm not doing much right now. Let me make another video, which I made a bunch of videos yesterday. Go check out those videos, guys, on Tesla stock, the overall markets, AMC, Bed Bath & Beyond, all that good stuff. So I figured, hey, I'm not doing anything. Let me make another video, and here we are. And by the way, all these stocks that we're going to talk about today, these are all for trades, short-term trades, whether it be a couple of days, couple of weeks, not for long-term investments. I'm not saying they're not good stocks for long-term investments. I'm just saying the way I'm looking at them right now, I'm treating them as for a short-term trade, if that makes any sense, right? Just to clear that up. So if you all find value, hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and don't forget to get up to 15 stocks from MooMoo, link down below. We'll talk more about that later, and now let's dive into the video. So the first stock I want to go over, guys, is none other than AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, which I've talked about before here on the channel, but I figured this video would be perfect to go, to dive deeper into it and look at the chart. And of course, we have a lot more stocks to talk about, some that I haven't talked about here in a couple of weeks. So AMD right now, guys, is officially in correction territory, meaning it is down about 10%, a little bit over 10% from the recent high, which we hit back in the end of March. We hit about $103. You guys probably remember that. And since that point, we're now down about $10. We hit what, roughly $91 yesterday on Friday, or I keep thinking today's Saturday. Today's Friday, guys. Yesterday was Thursday. We hit that 91 level, so it got down roughly 12% from that recent 103 high, which again puts it in correction territory. And looking at the RSI down here, guys, it is pretty oversold. Look at that. The RSI on the 184-hour chart is right at 35, which is again really oversold. And at this point, we're still trading above the 180 SMA, which you guys can see on the 4-hour chart. That's been support for quite some time. We've held many higher lows at this level. You guys see one right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, a bunch, right? You guys see all the bounces we've gotten off this 180 SMA. So that is essentially what I'm waiting for this go around, as again, now we're pulling back about 12% from the recent high. So I'm going to see if buyers do come in at this $88, $90 to $92 level, which is pretty much right where we are right now. And I'm going to wait for the confirmation of the breakout, which we have to watch the 5-day, 5-minute chart for that, because right now we're still technically in a downtrend. You guys see that here on the 5-day, 5-minute. We're making lower lows, lower highs. We have to break that downtrend. If we start taking out the highs from Thursday, next week, if we do this, right, we start breaking that $93 level. We take the highs out from Wednesday as well, being about 95. That's where this could really start to reverse, turn around, and maybe start to break back out, maybe back towards 100, that $102 level, which is where we were again in the end of March. So AMD looks pretty good right now, in my opinion, just waiting for that confirmation. And UPS, let's pull this up. You guys probably know UPS has been doing pretty well. FedEx has been doing even better. I mean, look at FedEx, guys. I wouldn't say this is, necessarily oversold, but UPS is a little bit more oversold, right, on the oversold side. And we're noticing here UPS is still holding the uptrend, right? You guys see higher lows have been made for months, and just recently we took out the highs from the beginning of February and from the beginning of December. That high was right around 190 to 191. This past week, or maybe the week before, actually, no, it was a couple of days ago, we hit about 195. So we took out that high. Now we're pulling back. We're at 188 right now. And the RSI here shows on the 4-hour chart that UPS is at about a 44 on the RSI, 45. So sure, this could come down maybe a little bit more, maybe down to about 184, 185, right by the 180 SMA. But that's where I believe buyers will come in, right? Maybe to continue the trend, hopefully to continue the trend. And obviously, if we break this trend, start dumping down towards, 175, 170, that would not be good for the bulls. But right now, the bulls are still in charge. We're simply pulling back, and I'm waiting to see if we get the confirmation of a bounce. And similar to what? AMD, UPS is also in a little mini downtrend on the 5-day, 5-minute. Let's see if we can reverse out of this level. That is what I'm personally waiting for. So that's a quick little breakdown here on UPS. I might as well set my alert at $190. Let me do that now. Market's at or above $190 a share, and we'll see where it goes from that point. And before we continue on here, guys, have you gotten your 15 up to 15 stocks yet for MooMoo? If you haven't done that already, use that link down below. Open up an account with MooMoo. You get 1 free share of stock. Once you deposit at least $100, you get 4 more free shares, totaling 5 free shares of stock. And listen to this, guys, it gets even better. If you deposit at least $1,000 onto the MooMoo platform, you get another 10 stocks, totaling 15 free stocks. And I think they're doing some kind of paper trading promotion right now, which if you win that paper trading competition, you get $1,500 for first place, and you also get a 1-month free membership to Benzinga Pro. So yeah, a bunch of perks by using that MooMoo link down below. Get your free stocks, enter that competition, and of course, that link also helps out the channel. I appreciate you guys as always. And now let's continue on with stock number 3, and my phone keeps ringing, which is obviously connected to the watch here. Stock number 3 is Ulta. Let me pull this up. Ulta right now, guys, is down a little bit over the past couple of days, especially. You guys can see back on the 4th of April, which was what? I think Monday. Actually, no, that was on Tuesday. Ulta stock was at $550, and on Thursday, we closed at $520. This thing went down about 5-6% over the course of these 1, 2, 3 trading days, and it went down 2.5% on Thursday. Not the best day at all for Ulta. And if we're looking at the chart here on the 4-hour time frame, well, the chart still looks pretty bullish, right? Still looks pretty bullish, and the RSI is fairly oversold here. We're down to about 40-41 on the RSI, and we're approaching a pretty big level of support right around the 180 SMA, which you guys can see that's held time and time again over the last couple of months. You guys can see here, we held it here, we held it here, we held it here. And just a couple of weeks ago, literally 2 weeks ago, we held it, rallied to 560. Now we're pretty much right back to that 180 SMA. So this looks like it could easily be a continuation play, no doubt about it, in my opinion. And we'll see. We'll see what happens at 515, 520. Granted, we're not seeing the confirmation of a breakout yet, but that's what we're going to be looking for, right? We'll see if we start taking out 530, we start breaking out of the highs from Thursday, Wednesday. That's going to be where the reversal could start to happen. So I'm going to set my alert here on Ulta at $530, and we'll see where it goes from that point. So mark is at or above 530. There we go on Ulta. And another one that I'm looking at here, guys, is Monster, ticker symbol MNST, which just had a reverse split, or rather a regular stock split, and it went down recently. The stock went down from $55 to about $52.50. So it's not as oversold or as beaten down as some of these other names, but it is down roughly 5% from the recent high. The RSI has come down a little bit on the 4-hour chart, down to about 45. So I'm looking to see simply if this will be a continuation play, like Ulta, like UPS, pretty much like all these, right? These are all these charts we're breaking down today. They're all pretty much being dominated by the bulls. We're just seeing a little pullback in the short term, very short term. Now I'm looking to see again if buyers come in, we get the confirmation of a breakout, and that's where we could make some money. So I'm going to set my alert here on Ulta, or not Ulta. My mind's still on Ulta, guys. Monster, I'm going to set it at $53, and you guys can see here 53. That's a big level of resistance from back in, when was this? Back in the middle of February. So if we do retake that 53 level, 55, that's where we could be going. And of course, that might break. We could go even higher. So it's interesting how Monster did a stock split here. I mean, this stock, if you guys have been watching it, it has struggled to break out. Well, now it's not at $100 anymore, but back when it was, before the split, it was at $100. It was stuck there for, it seems like years, but now it's, now looking back, it was only a couple years. So it looks like they did this probably in hopes to get this thing to finally start to break out, because it's just been stuck at that $100 level. And you guys know stock splits don't do anything fundamentally for the business, but it's more of a, it's kind of like a mind game, right? It's kind of like changing the perception of the stock, and it might spur demand. It might bring buyers to come in. Who knows, right? Who knows the real reason why they did it. But at this point, guys, my alert's at 53. We'll see what happens at that point. And the last stock for the video, by the way, guys, if you stuck till the end, I appreciate you all as always. And if you haven't yet, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 30,000 subs. Hit that like button as well. You might as well while you're at it, guys. And the last stock is none other than Macy's, whose chart honestly doesn't look nearly as good as any of these. In fact, we're under the 180 SMA. We have a death cross, which is not the best sign, but we do have an inverse head and shoulders forming here on the 4-hour chart. We clearly see that. The left shoulder right here, the head, the right shoulder. And as of last week, even though the last couple of days of last week weren't that great, the fact that we ripped past the 50 SMA, I think that was on the 3rd, that was on Monday, right? The fact that we did that, we broke out of that 50 SMA, now we're consolidating above it, that's a good sign for the bulls. Now I'm just waiting to see if we get that next leg up. If we start taking out the highs from earlier this week, which I think we're right around 19-ish bucks, if we start breaking out of that level, we start going to that 180 SMA towards 20 bucks, that's where some money could be made. And of course, if that $20 level breaks, that's where even more money could be made. So I'm going to set my Macy's alert at 19. I just set that one and 20 bucks, and we'll see where it goes from there. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to get up to 15 stocks from MooMoo using that link down below, guys. It is free money. Get those stocks. You could also get 12 stocks from Webull. And if you haven't checked out my Patreon yet, what are you waiting for? If you want to see my Patreon portfolio, be a part of the Discord chat, you want to get more access to me throughout the day and see my charts throughout the day, that's on Patreon, link down below. Try it out. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys later.